So those that follow my channel, I think, really enjoy to see what I start out the season with, like I did last year. I made a little video. And so I'm going to show you all the used mowers. I already kind of showed a video of the new mowers that I have. Those 5 in the previous video, and then I also have one of them Power Smart Chinese made ones. I had a Black Max with the Honda engine that sold this morning. First mower sold of 2018. So we're going to show these used mowers that I have here, starting with the first one. This is probably going to sell it. I used this kind of like the second half of last year to cut the grass. It's a Husqvarna. It's one of the all-wheel drive Husqvarnas. I found the Craftsman bag whenever I traded a Craftsman mower, or traded a mower for a Craftsman. He gave me 2 bags. One I sold with that other mower, and one that I put on here with the 625EX Briggs. A newer one. I think it's a 14 model. I like the mower, but I don't need it where I'm moving. I just need a little bit more basic push mower, and I'll use a riding mower to hit everything else. And the second one here I'm going to give to my neighbor to use, since he's moved back and gave me his, and I sold his, so I'm going to give him this one. Just a little 20-inch Murray with the 6-horse Briggs that came off of a Scott's mower. All these run, by the way, so no problems with that. And then the next one here is a Craftsman. It's got a bag to it. I had to permanently engage the self-propel on this one because the cable ended up finally breaking, but other than that, it works well. The 6-horse Briggs on it, so it's nice for what it is. Probably I'd like to get like 180 for the Husqvarna. This one, if I sold it, would be worth 50 or 60. And then this one I'm trying to get at least 80 for. I think I can get 80 for it in its condition. I'd like to get 100 out of it. Same thing with this Troy-Bilt. The cable for the Troy-Bilt here is a little bit tight just because of the way that I have it mounted, but it does work well enough to use as a safety cable. If you remember, this is the one I had to kind of put a belt that was a little bit longer on it, and it actually came back twice. One for the self-propel, I got that fixed again, and the other time I don't know what the guy did to it, but it came back with a bolt missing and grass all over it and everything like that. Next one here, this is my favorite one of the bunch. It's a Lawn Boy. It's a 20-inch deck. I only had to crank out the carburetor on this one. Got it running. Very nice mower. I hope you get about 120 for it. With a Quantum 675 Briggs on it. So that one's a nice one. This one right here is the Husqvarna. If you remember, I had to put a bolt in the back of it because the height adjuster is actually broken on it. So I've got two heights that you can cut with, a low setting and a high setting. This one's got an overhead valve Briggs. I think it's around 6.5 horse. Rear drive self-propel. Hopefully going to get 100 to 120 for it. This one runs good. It pulses a little bit until it gets warm, but once you get a load on it, runs great. This one right here is just, I don't know, I just could not sell this one last year for some reason. I listed it for 80. I might try and list it for 70 to get it going, kind of to get it gone. But this is the one that was front drive self-propel, but it's on one of them cheap Boland's decks with a 4.5 horse engine. I adjusted the self-propel. It works well now. It's just a little bit rough looking mower. It does have a not uncommon split right there on the deck, but it still runs and cuts just fine, just because of the way that cheap metal is made. Apart from that, everything is in decent condition on it. This is the Toro that I'm hoping to get rid of sometime because it's a very nice mower. It's one of the commercial grade aluminum deck mowers. It's in good shape overall. Not a lot of paint peeling. I just gotta clean these up before I sell them, obviously, a little bit, just dust them off. But this one has the 5 horse Briggs and it's got the choke on it. only one speed of the self-propel works. The self-propel speed cable is broken on. It froze up and broke. And this is my only Tecumseh of the bunch now. It is a 5.5 horsepower, 22-inch Craftsman. This one never sold last year either. I'm gonna try and get about 70 to 80 for it as well. So I know I've been out a while because it's been cold, but now after we've got a couple of decent sized snows here and it's almost the end of February, things are warming up, actually warming up quite a bit with a lot of record highs this week. So I'm getting the mowers out this weekend and getting them ready. All these had no gas in them. I pulled them out, and for the most part they cranked right up. The Troy-Bilt took a few pulls to get going, and the Craftsman here, I had to take the bowl off of it. There's a little bit of trash had gotten in the carburetor. But the other projects, I wanted to make a video on the pressure washer here. I've got a couple of decks just with no engines on too, which are always nice to have around. I was going to make a video on this pressure washer, but it decided it didn't want to really work properly. I did put a brand new carburetor on it. The motor runs great, but the pump is shot on it. Once it heats up, it binds up, and then it just stops turning. So that's the situation with that. I'm just going to sell it like it is, and hopefully somebody can use the engine for something good. I tried to tap the threads in the shaft to get a mower, which is why the deck's out here, was to try to get a mower blade on it, but the threads were really shallow because the shaft is not very deep to put the threads in, and I just didn't feel comfortable trying to sell it that way. So honestly, because it was probably pretty dangerous. So hopefully somebody can repurpose this as another pressure washer engine. It's got the mounting brackets and stuff under it ready to go. So hopefully somebody can use that. And then these two mowers right here I'm trying to sell as a pair, because they're not, they do run. This one right here probably needs a little bit of carburetor and linkage adjustments, but as you can see the condition of these, it doesn't really make any sense for me to try and fix these anymore and then sell them off, just because of their age and because they've got the old brake style engine on them. But the parts are not easy to come by, and they're a little bit more expensive than the run-of-the-mill stuff. That one right there runs good though. I know I made a video on it a while back, but the butterfly spring is broke on it, so you have to take a screwdriver and manually kind of give it a more or less of a fuel to air ratio manually, where there's a screw inside that hole there which you can loosen to get more fuel in and tighten to get less fuel in. You turn it out to give it more fuel. Pull it about a dozen times, it'll crank up, and you just have to manually screw the screw back in to get it to where it's in the sweet spot, and then it runs and cuts grass well. So there's that one. And then this one right here, I'm just trying to sell these pair for 40, 20 bucks a piece. The engines are good on them. They're complete mowers. This one right here, like I said, just probably needs a little bit of carb and linkage adjustment, and it'll probably be good. So it's kind of the situation with everything that I have. That's the old mowers ready to go. Hopefully I can get those sold here in the next couple months. I want to get everything sold by July, because that's when I've got to be out of here. And as you can see, I've gotten the other ones ready. As y'all saw in the other video, they're lined up ready to go. I sold the first one this morning, and which was the Honda Black Max one. As you remember, I started out with 3 of the 60-volt snappers. 2 of them are gone already. They sold last season. They're actually the only 2 new mowers that sold last season. And hopefully that one will sell too, with the bundle package with the weed eater. I had good luck with getting the other 2 gone. Hopefully that third one, even though the stickers are sun dried, will be good. So that's kind of the situation with everything. Everything's complete. I'm trying to thin out the herd a little bit with some stuff that I have here, so I don't have to move as much, which I've already kind of have done. I don't want to get rid of everything, obviously, because these parts are pretty valuable. So that's kind of the situation here. Still got the snowblower. Took my snowblower out when we had that snow earlier, and it blew as good as it could to be a little 3.8 horsepower snowblower. Edger still runs. I had the big weed whacker running a while back, so it should still be good. This one right here probably needs a little bit of a carb clean. It doesn't really suck up leaves very well. I'll probably try and sell that, because I've got the hose for it as well. I'll probably try and sell that later on this season when the leaves maybe start falling. And then my tiller back there, which hopefully should come to good use at some point, because I'm not going to get rid of that. And then my snapper riding mower here, I'm hoping to keep that too. It runs good. I haven't gotten it out to see how well it runs after because it was bogging down and whatnot, so I did adjust the governor a little bit on it, because all the cables and linkages were on and working as they should. And so I'm going to get that out and see if it's running any better now and cutting any better and not bogging down as much, because it was kind of making it a little bit difficult and a little bit more time consuming to cut the grass. So, but anyways, as y'all can see, I've got a lot to sell. More than likely, what you see here will not be here in 3 months. That's just kind of the nature of the business with lawnmowers. As soon as March hits, or as soon as the warm weather hits and the grass starts growing, which can be as early as the end of February around here sometimes if we get an above normal season, which we had this year, and we had a stretch last year, although it took me until I think March 1st to sell the first one last year. So just keep it up here for the updates. And if y'all just enjoy mowers in general, thank y'all for continually watching. And hopefully I'll be posting new content as it comes in, as more so as I sell and if I get trade-ins. Because right now I don't really have anything to fix. But it has been a while. I wanted to give y'all a good update. And so here it is for y'all. And I will talk to y'all in the next video.